welcome. You are watching the Economic Times Think Diplomacy series presented by BLS International. And we are at the residence of the Slovak ambassador to India. Well, in the conversation today, we are going to be exploring the evolving relationships between the two countries and how the high-tech partnerships are spreading across sectors. And I am joined by my colleague Ashutosh.
Good morning, Nidhi, and what an exciting conversation this could be, because we're talking of two nations of completely different pedigree and which share about 100 years of relationship. That is what is coming to the fore, could come to the fore in this conversation, and there's so much to talk about.
I think what makes this dialogue even more special is that, the way the ambassador and his wife have really, adapted the way of life that we live here in India. And on top of that, he speaks good Hindi.
Well, you've just hit the nail, as usual, Nidhi, on the head. Because not just does he speak Hindi, he's a big Bollywood buff. And as we speak to him, I guess that'll come out as well.
So without further ado, shall we go and continue with our interaction?
Sure,
Let's
come.
go.
Hello and welcome. We are back with the conversations in the Think Diplomacy series. And today, my guest is Róbert Maxian. Thank you so much, Ambassador Maxian, for speaking to us. The 100-year history of the relationship with India in its previous avatar and now over the last 30 years as Slovakia. Tell us how things have expanded over the last 30 years or so between the two countries.
Thank you very much for having me. This year we have been celebrating 33 years of the Indo-Slovak diplomatic relations, but as you mentioned very correctly, we have to go beyond these 33 years because actually the history of the Indo-Slovak relations has started in 1918. Once the new Czechoslovakia has been created. There have been several moments, like numbers of Slovak missionaries in India, especially in Kerala. Then a lot of Indian Maharajas have been visiting the Slovak spas. Your first ever Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, have met in Bratislava with the Slovak Minister of External Affairs, Dr. Klementis, and there is a special commemorative plaque in the Bratislava saying that this is for our Indian friends. Obviously, there is a independent India since 1947 from August, and the scenario became different. Cooperation was very intensive, especially because both countries, they have the orientation on the orientation was on the centrally planned economy, which was typical for Czechoslovakia as well as for the India, where was the small segment of the market-oriented economy as well. The cooperation was very intensive, especially in the engineering and the machinery, build up the steel plants, the power plants. There have been many brands which might indicate from Czech, like Bohemia, Sigma, Tatra, but they naturally have a footprint of Slovakia also, because many of those companies or subsidiaries have been actually in Slovakia. The business was dealt on the rupee payment agreement when the exchange rate between former Czechoslovak crown and Indian rupee has been artificially created. And they have been so-called the list of the commodities suggested to import and export. In 1989, there was a velvet revolution in Slovakia, and we have started to transform the centrally planned economy to a market-oriented economy. And very interestingly, this period is very similar when India started his reform, especially Dr. Manmohan Singh, your former Minister of Finance, in 1991. And India started to open to the world, which was quite a closed economy. From 1993, as you have mentioned, Slovakia has established, two countries have peacefully separated, which is admired by entire world. And we are fair partners now with the Czech, and very good partners, I would like to say. We have around 30 years of cooperation with India. There are no suggested items to be traded, and we have done our homework. Today we are building up on the high political dialogue. I am very proud of that. This has been started by Dr. Jaishankar and his Minister of External Affairs, and his first visit to Slovakia, historical visit in 2022. And it was first ever visit of the Indian Foreign Affairs Minister to Slovakia during our independence. There is also high-level political dialogue on our side, and especially on the Minister of External Affairs. From 2022, they have been meeting 5 times, but not just meeting, but of course negotiating and solving the crucial problems of our bilateral relations. The special impetus and boost to our relations has been given by official visit of Madam President Draupadi Murmu in last year in April, and which was very much appreciated, and it has happened after 29 years, gap of 29 years, so we can say it was a historical visit. But this year, President of the Slovak Republic, Mr. Peter Pellegrini, has visited India for the AI summit, and he had a very extensive discussion with your Prime Minister Modi, and again with Madam Draupadi Murmu. Besides that, he was also one of the key speakers at the AI Impact Summit here in Delhi.
Mm-hmm. So fantastic, that gives us a very good landscape. But I must mention about the recent turn of events, the EU deal that has happened, the trade deal that's happened between India and the EU. How does that open opportunities for your country?
EU deal is a mother of deals. I would say that it is the strategic deal. This has been discussed over the 20 years, and even during my tenure as a trade commissioner from 2004 to 2009. And I'm so happy that we have been able to have this deal already in existence. Will be very soon. Thanks to the political engagement of the Prime Minister Modi and President of the European Commission, Madam Ursula von der Leyen, we will be having this deal, and also because of 2 negotiators, who was the Maroš Šefčovič, and he is the Commissioner for the Economy, and also the Piyush Goyal, Minister of Commerce and Industry, where the chemistry of these 2 people have worked very well. We are so happy that we'll be having the strategical deal. The 97%, the taxes and the duty-free access of the items on both sides will be gradually arranged during this, when the FTA will come into its existence. We are creating generally the market or free trade zone of 2 billion people. Because of the EU plus combining with India. And as of now, the process is in the legal judgment and legal scrubbing of both of the countries, where we are trying to also check the, the properly formulations of sections. Then it will be some necessary process at the EU institutions and also in India. And of course, FTA needs to be translated into 24 languages, which are the official languages of the EU. The other question is what we are gaining out of that. First of all, Slovakia is the largest personal automobile producers in the world per capita. We produce 1.2 million cars per year. We have in 5 major production units, starting from Volkswagen to Volvo and Jaguar Land Rover, by the way, which is the Tata enterprise. And one of the largest commodity which Slovakia exports to Indian market are the luxury passengers cars. Since the import duties will be gradually reduced from 110 to 10%, we are pleased that we will be getting the cheaper cars for the Indian market. We supply roughly $100 million in the cars, and we are buying from India 150 million in the components for those cars. So I think this is a win-win situation for both of the countries, and I am sure that while easy access and also some other issues which this FTA brings will be increasing as an European Union the total trade by 100 billion euros annually. We hope that FTA might be operational by the end of the year, if not early next year, 2027.
Okay, so the next question also about the Indo-Slovakia Joint Economic Committee meeting, last held about a year ago or so. 30 years after it was set up, how could this be driving the business relationship between the two countries?
Indo-Slovak Joint Economic Committee gives the framework for our cooperation in the area of the economics. Guarantor is from the Slovak side Ministry of Economy, and from India Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Last year in February we had the 12th Joint Commission meeting. It was very successful because we are trying to include also the industrial segment. Whenever there is a joint commission meeting on economy, we call in the companies and we organize the B2B meetings. And we are also organizing the seminars, doing business in India, which is naturally something which companies can learn how to access the Indian market, about the policies, about the companies, how to establish their companies, whether they should, to establish the liaison offices, branches. We are talking to advocates. So it is very useful exercise always. The last year was even very specific because Slovak delegation from business side has participated at the Indian International Engineering and Technology Trade Fair in Delhi. So we have put our Slovak stall and we have signed a lot of MOUs. We had very fruitful discussions with the Indian companies, partners, and there have been also some businesses which has been established from this exercise. So definitely we would like to continue with the Joint Commission meetings. The next will be held in Slovakia, and we see as a very useful exercise for our cooperation.
So one of the areas, Ambassador Maxian, is also defense, where the two countries have a history as well. Now that India is focusing on defense manufacturing in a big way, how could the two countries cooperate and expand that opportunity?
Since 1993, Slovakia is a very reliable and established supplier of the defense items to India. Earlier, we have been cooperating with your Indian ordnance factories, public sector units, and Ministry of Defense. Now the system of the procurement in India has been changed totally and also includes the private companies. So we are still suppliers of the defense equipment to India. I would say the scope of cooperation is a little bit narrowing. On the other hand, we are also buying some defense technologies from India, so which is again a win-win situation for both of the sides. Definitely there are perspectives, new possibilities. We have been supplying recently the flight mission simulators to India. We are also doing some overhauling of the military technology which you are having. There are some other items like recovery vehicles and spare parts. And there are some new areas of cooperation we are just exploring, but still is there the possibility of cooperate with India on both sides and including your Make It in India policy. All the defense companies would start visiting some specialized trade fair. The Slovakia visited very often and participated at the DEF Expo and also at the exhibition Aero Bangalore. Those have been two flagship exhibitions of Indian defense industry, and I would like to call all the parties to participate also in Slovak exhibition trade fair, which is called IDEP, and it will be from 12th to 14th of May in Bratislava in the exhibition center called Incheba. So, because this is the best way how to establish contact and to discuss with potential Slovak producers.
Okay, also talk about the nuclear industry, nuclear power industry. The two countries signed last year of peaceful use of nuclear technology. Now that India is also looking to expand its nuclear industry, what opportunities are the two countries, if any, looking for?
Two countries have signed the MOU. The regulatory authorities of India and Slovakia have signed the MOU on the exchanging the informations and experts in the nuclear area for the peaceful use. As such, we are exchanging the regulatory informations. We are also organizing the joint seminars and the presentations. We are also organizing the experts and visiting one of another countries. Slovakia has very good expertise in the nuclear energy because the 65%, or I would say 60 as of now, % of the energy mix is done by nuclear power plants only. However, in India, there are 2% generated by the nuclear power. So there is a lot of the information which Slovakia can pass to India in the area of building up the plant, nuclear plant, running the plant, or buying the fuels, nuclear fuels, or recommissioning of the nuclear waste. So I would say there are numbers of areas we can talk to Indian side. We have perfect expertise in this, and there is a framework, like you said. There is a MOU signed already between our regulatory authorities, and now the competent authorities should process and cooperate further.
So we spoke of the nuclear power industry, we spoke of the defense industry, we spoke about the India-Slovakia JEC and how it's shaping the economic relations between the two countries. Last year, when the foreign minister from Slovakia visited India, what new opportunities could open up between the two countries?
3 to 4 years back, we have been coming with a very ambitious proposal to my headquarters, and we have suggested that we would use the momentum of the presence of my foreign affairs minister at the Raisina dialogue, along with the segment from enterprises. So he should bring the companies to the India. This model has been very successful. Already in the past, we have done several such a visit where the Minister of External Affairs literally opens the door for the Slovak companies. Besides that, there is the segment of bilateral discussions with Dr. Jaishankar, and we opened the honorary consulate in Calcutta last year. For companies, we do B2B, and we do the business fora, and also the seminar how to do the business in India. The project is called Slovak Technology and Innovation Days. So on the sideline of the Raisina dialogue, we do Slovak Technology and Innovation Days, which after the 3 to 4 years became a successful product and the project. During this, we have been clubbing together very successfully hundreds of Slovak and Indian companies. As far as the commodity is concerned, I would put it in two baskets. One are the traditional commodities we have been mostly discussing. We are talking about the automobile industry, we are talking about the railways industry, we are talking about bearings. And other baskets are the new commodities, where I would put the cybersecurity also. I would put the water management, then the system of the air traffic control, and the other green energy. Slovakia is becoming also investor in India, which has also never been before. Slovakia creates jobs, by the way. We are creating jobs, and we are transferring the latest technologies. This year, the plant for ethanol has been commissioned in Uttar Pradesh, and already is running and having the successful contract and first deliveries. It is the plant based on the waste of the rice and corn also, but as of now, we will be looking for other location in other state, perhaps Madhya Pradesh. We are building up the plant in Orissa, which is 2,600 crores investment. And this is the joint company between Slovak company Tatra Vagonka Poprad and Indian company Jupiter Wagons. So there are just two examples where Slovakia is expanding not just via trade activities in India, but via the investments. And we would like to be active part of your Viksit Bharat process 2047.
Okay, since we spoke of the India-EU trade deal, the opportunity for professionals to work across borders within India and the EU region, how do you see that opening up?
Well, in January this year, on the visit of the High Delegation from the EU, there have been three major agreements announced. One was the FTA we have discussed, one was security and defense, and also there was a framework for the mobility, which in certain way is helping us and also to Indian partners to identify the basic needs on the EU side for the mobility, and also to get some ideas what are the possibilities to hire the seasonal workers or highly qualified workers or the nurses to EU countries. But obviously we are very much in touch, and we are supporting this agreement. It is useful also for Slovakia. There is also the legal gateway office in Delhi, which has been established, giving the practical advices to Indian travelers, or also the advices to European companies and organizations seeking Indian people. So it is a very practical solution which is useful for Slovakia. As of now, Indian workforce in Slovakia is second largest workforce. We are employing 9,000 Indian people in our industry. Definitely the FTA will put some impact on the flow of the workforce to India, from India to Slovakia. As of now, 100,000 workforce in Slovakia is required, so there are natural necessity, and it's a win-win situation for both of the sides, because also you have the young population, and unemployment rate is quite high in India. So I think the labor force and the policy of labor force is much of the agenda of Slovakia as of now.
The first ever translation of the Upanishads to Slovak was done by Embassy of India and Róbert Maxian. Can you tell us a little bit about this, please?
It's indeed a historical project which has been done by Slovak Academy of Science, like you said, Róbert Maxian. The project took, and its translation from Sanskrit to Slovak language took 3 years. The production of the graphic documentations, which is incorporated in the book, and other issues had took another 2 years. So the project totally has took 5 years. I think it's a unique project, and is very successful because the second edition of the book has been issued recently. The project has been mentioned also by Prime Minister Modi in Man Ki Baat, and he was very pleased that such a cultural bridge between Slovakia and India has been established, which brings the millions of people together. But beside this book, obviously, Slovaks are interested in yoga very much. They are interested in Indian cuisine, and Ayurveda is very much on the rise in India.
And I must also mention about your interest in Bollywood, in some of the stuff. आप हिंदी बहुत अच्छी बोलते हैं, ये कैसे सीखा?
मेरा हिंदी ठीक नहीं है, मेरा हिंदी अच्छा नहीं है, but thank you for your compliment. Thanks to my study at Indian Institute of Foreign Trade in 1991, I picked up some basic Hindi language. It's my privilege to speak at least a little bit Hindi. The major speeches on Indian Republic Day or Independence Day I am doing in Hindi. This brings me closer to Indian people, opening me door for communication with them. It's also a fact that I came in 1991, and basic and number one Bollywood blockbuster was a Sergeant at that time. With the Madhuri Dixit, with Salman Khan and Sanjay Dutt. So obviously I have also picked up some words from that songs, like Dekha hai pehli baar sajan kiya kome pyar, or Pardasi Jana Nehi, and and तुमसे मिलने की तमन्ना है, प्यार का इरादा है. So obviously it came somehow step by step. But it's really a pleasure to be in India, in this colorful and diverse country. And we have spent some time, and also thanks for support of my wife. Naturally, Slovakia-India are natural partners, and this friendship will continue. And it's a privilege for me to be ambassador in this country.
Would you also like to mention a little bit about the cultural activities of the Slovakia Embassy in India?
Last 2 years have been very rich for Indo-Slovak relations in the area of culture. They have been numbers of folklore ensembles participating in India in various cities. For example, we have very strong cooperation in Parul University in Gujarat, where practically each year the Slovak folklore ensemble is performing. But the other have been in Delhi, Calcutta, and other parts of the India. The same is happening with the Indian folklore ensembles in Slovakia. Last year we have been organizing the Slovak Cultural Days in India. It was a 3-day festival, the first time in history of our relations. We have started with Slovak Film Festival, which was the first day. Then second day we had the concert, a fusion of the Indian and Slovak musicians, where they have played together Slovak and Indian songs.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, for your time. आपसे बात करके बड़ी खुशी हुई.
बहुत शुक्रिया. नमस्कार. बहुत शुक्रिया.